Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to my shop. Today I purchased a Triton Dual Dowel, and this is the unboxing and initial impressions. I did purchase this tool, as did I purchase this Mafell Duo Doweller and the Festool Domino. This is the first Triton tool that I've ever bought or owned, and I'm just going to see this right now in the US, this can be had for right around $200 or less. I'm just going to unbox this, give some initial impressions. In a future video, I'm going to compare this model versus the Mafell, and just primarily for information, see what the differences are, does this perform, and then in another video I'm going to cover how this compares to the Domino. Is a Duo Doweller a suitable replacement for the Domino? And obviously the affordability of this tool is much better than the other two. Okay, this is the Duo Doweller from Triton. Let's see what else is in the box here. There's an Allen key here. Not sure what this is for yet. A couple of brushes. To be honest with you, by the time I usually get to the point where I need new brushes on these tools that come with them, I've already misplaced them. So I'll put these aside for right now, so I can misplace them and not remember where they are at a future date. This does come with two 8mm boring bits. They're held in place by a single set screw. As I tighten this fence locking mechanism, this fence moves out quite a bit. Not sure what gives there. So you have to hold it in with your finger there. The fence height, this must be the lock mechanism. And it's also got a rack and pinion type adjustment. Knobs are fairly small compared to some of the other machines I've got. It does seem to lock securely. It has a scale with a pointer, and to be honest with you, that pointer looks like a piece of plastic put in there, and honestly, it's real hard to see where that is. Plunge action isn't overly smooth. It looks like it can go to a depth of this, well, the scale says 40mm. It does have these pads in it, and the Mafell unit does not have these, but let's see what that looks. Whoa. If you're doing face milling, I think those pads are going to have to come out. Anyway, let's put this on 90 degrees. Let's see how the square is. Well, that's way out of square. I don't think these are going to go back in because I think they're going to cause a problem. Because even if you're doing this against a piece of wood, generally if you're doing it close to the end, one of the pads will be engaged and the unit will be cocked over. There's some rocking there. Okay, I've taken 3 index cards, and these are 1/2 millimeter in total thickness. So let's check this fence. Cheap feeler gauges. and I hate to say this, but that's a good 1/2 millimeter off there. And it changes in the center of the fence. It's in contact here, but against the window, it looks like it's about 2 index card thicknesses. And maybe I didn't expect the window to be all that flat, but I can squeeze those under there. And on this one, it goes back the other way, 2 cards. But it's enough to get noticeable wobble. Maybe what I need to do is try to get this tightened up to where it's as flat as I can get it. See what it looks like that way. Oh, geez. That didn't make it any better. This fence is not flat, but it's not machined either. That's kind of a disappointment. I don't know how that will affect the accuracy of this. Only the test of time will prove that or disprove it. You feel that gritty sound. That's so all you got to do is rotate these. There's a little bit of grease here, but these, oh geez. I hate to say this, but this feels like it's 100 grit sandpaper. That definitely needs to be smoothed. Okay, we'll see how well this looks, but this is the part that fits in the groove, and I just want you to see the texture on that. It is rougher here than it is here. See if the other side's any better. Nope. I'm going to take some sandpaper to that and see if I can improve that. Okay, I've taken that 400 grit paper to that and cleaned up the guides. It's still I even used Teflon lubricant. This thinking this post is bent, the guide post for the spring. Without the spring, it moves very smoothly. It looks like this post is contacting right here. No offense, Triton, but daggone, it's obvious you haven't tested this before it left your factory. See if they can give me a different position. Well, at least that's not binding. Let's see how the see how it does with a spring. I think that's better. I think between the combination of the post being bent and contacting this guide, combined with the roughness of the base slide, all right. Next video, I'm going to cover the operation of this this tool. This did require some effort to get the smooth action plunge fixed. It had two issues. One was the guides were very coarse. I cleaned that up with sandpaper and used some tri-flow lubricant. I also found this guide post that holds the return spring contacting the bushing in here. It wasn't even centered, it was just rubbing on it. But even with the guides, that was an issue. The rubber pads that are on this fence, I just took those out. Those are not going to be effective. There's still a bit of wobble here. I do not know whether that's going to be a functional issue or not. The fence, I just use a square. It's not exactly square along the entire face. I think it could be made square. There's another thing I noticed in this tool. If you, in North America at least, wherever you buy this, you see some options. This comes with 8mm bits. There are optional bits available. The bits are 10mm and 12mm. And what I was reading, the very fine print, which seems to be about font size number 2, which makes it difficult for my eyes to read, is this is designed for use with 10mm, 8mm, or 6mm bits. I don't know whether it'll take a 12. If you've got this tool and use it with 12mm bits, I do have some 12mm bits with my Mafell, and the shaft size is the same, I believe. So I'll try this, see how it works. And in the next video, I'm going to do the performance checks on this. I'm going to do some joinery with sheet goods, soft woods, and hardwoods, and we'll see how this performs. Right now, my initial impressions aren't all that positive on this tool, because I don't care how much a tool costs, you shouldn't have to fix it right out of the box. And in this case, I had to fix this, and I see some weaknesses in the design. We'll just see how it performs overall to see if those weaknesses impact performance. So the next video, I'm going to cover the operation of this. So I thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments that I can answer on this tool right now, please feel free to post them. I've not finalized my opinion on this tool yet, but I will say that this is my first Triton, and you only have one chance to make a first impression, and right now my impression isn't overly positive. We'll see how this performs in the long run, and I'll be continuing to use this and provide some feedback. So once I use this tool in a few projects, we'll see how it goes. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.